massive invisible ocean inside the Earth that's 3 times larger than all surface oceans combined. Scientists have discovered a mineral called ringwoodite deep in the Earth's mantle, ground 400 miles beneath our feet. This mineral can trap vast amounts of water within its crystal structure. In 2014, researchers found evidence suggesting that an entire ocean's worth of water is stored inside rock, meaning the Earth's inner layers could hold more water than all of the ocean's rivers and lakes on the surface. This underground reservoir could help explain how Earth's oceans form in the first place, too. Octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood, but that's just the beginning of how weird they are. 2 of the octopus's hearts pump blood to the gills, while the third pumps it to the rest of the body. Their blood is blue because it uses hemocyanin instead of hemoglobin to carry oxygen, a copper-based molecule that works better in cold, low-oxygen environments. Even stranger, octopuses can edit their own RNA, meaning they can change how their genes are read in response to their environment, giving them almost alien-like adaptability without having to wait for generations of evolution. 3 trees talk to each other through an underground fungal network known as the Wood Wide Web. Beneath forests, trees are connected by mycorrhizal fungi, forming a communication and nutrient exchange network. Older trees, sometimes called mother trees, use this system to send carbon, nitrogen, and other nutrients to younger trees and even warn neighbors of pests and diseases. This network allows forests to behave almost like a single organism, coordinating growth and defense in ways scientists are only beginning to understand. 4. Bananas are technically berries, but strawberries are not, and neither are raspberries. In botanical terms, berry is a fleshy fruit produced from a single ovary that contains seeds and develops from one flower. By that definition, bananas, kiwis, and even eggplants are berries. Meanwhile, strawberries and raspberries develop from a flower with multiple ovaries, making them aggregate fruits rather than true berries. This wild reclassification shows just how strange plant biology can be compared to what we learn casually. 5. There's a planet made almost entirely of diamonds, and it used to be a star. Astronomers discovered a planet called 55 Cancri e about 40 light years away. It is so rich in carbon and under such immense pressure, its interior could be made of diamond. It's thought to be the remnant core of a dead star that lost its outer layers. If calculations are correct, the planet could be worth an unimaginable amount, but it also has hellish surface temperatures that can melt metal, making it a dazzling but deadly place. 6. Your bones are constantly being broken down and rebuilt, meaning you technically have a new skeleton every 10 years. The human skeleton isn't a static structure. Through a process called bone remodeling, old bone tissue is broken down by cells called osteoclasts, and new bone is formed by osteoblasts. This process is ongoing throughout your life to repair damage, manage calcium levels, and adapt to new stresses. On average, it takes about 7 to 10 years for your entire skeleton to be replaced, meaning you are literally rebuilt without even noticing it. 7. Honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found pots of edible honey in 3,000-year-old Egyptian tombs. Honey's chemical makeup, low moisture and highly acidic, makes it almost impossible for bacteria and microorganisms to grow inside it. In ancient Egypt, honey was often used not only as food but also as medicine and an offering to the gods. Some pots of honey discovered in ancient tombs were still perfectly preserved after thousands of years, making honey one of the only foods that can truly last forever without refrigeration. 8. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins, up to 40 minutes underwater. While dolphins typically hold their breath for about 10 minutes, sloths can dramatically slow their heart rate by up to 1/3, allowing them to conserve oxygen and remain underwater for around 40 minutes. This surprising superpower is thought to help them avoid predators when they swim across rivers or move between trees during floods. 9. The Eiffel Tower grows and shrinks up to 15 centimeters, about 6 inches, depending on the temperature. The Eiffel Tower, made largely of iron, expands when heated and contracts when cold, a principle known as thermal expansion. On a hot summer day, the sun's heat can cause the tower to grow taller by as much as 15 centimeters. Engineers have to account for this movement to prevent structural issues. So technically, the height you read in textbooks isn't always the true height. 10. Mohammed poop is cube-shaped, and scientists only recently figured out why. Wombats, small marsupials native to Australia, produce poop that comes out in nearly perfect cubes. Scientists discovered that this unusual shape results from the way the intestines stretch unevenly. During digestion, this odd adaptation helps wombats mark their territory, since cube-shaped droppings are less likely to roll away. It took years of research to solve the mystery of the cube poop, making it one of the weirdest natural phenomena in the animal kingdom. 11. The human brain generates enough electricity to power a small light bulb. Even while you're sleeping, your brain runs on electrical impulses. Neurons communicate through tiny bursts of electrical signals, and combined, they generate about 20 watts of electricity, roughly enough to light a small bulb. What's even more incredible is that during sleep, certain parts of your brain become even more electrically active, helping with memory consolidation, dreaming, and healing processes. 12. There's a jellyfish that can technically live forever. It reverts its cells back to an earlier stage instead of dying. The species Torotopsis dohrnii, known as the immortal jellyfish, has an incredible survival trick when faced with injury, aging, or starvation. It can revert its cells back into a polyp stage, first stage of its life cycle, essentially starting over. While individual jellyfish can still die from disease or predation in theory, they could cycle indefinitely, making them biologically immortal. 13. A teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh around 6 billion tons. Neutron stars are the remnants of massive stars that exploded as supernovae. They're so densely packed that a single teaspoon of neutron star matter would have the mass of all the humans on Earth combined, and then some. This unimaginable density crushes atoms to the point that protons and electrons fuse into neutrons, creating one of the most extreme objects in the universe. 14. Sharks existed before trees by nearly 200 million years. First sharks appeared more than 450 million years ago during the Ordovician period, while the first true trees, large woody plants, didn't show up until about 350 million years ago. During the Devonian period, sharks have survived 5 mass extinctions and countless changes to the Earth's environment, making them one of the planet's most resilient and ancient life forms. 15. Time moves slower at your feet than at your head thanks to Einstein's theory of relativity. According to general relativity, gravity warps time. The closer you are to a gravitational source like Earth, the slower time moves relative to someone farther away. This means that technically your feet are aging ever so slightly slower than your head. The difference is microscopic, just a few billionths of a second over a lifetime. But it's measurable with atomic clocks. Remember to subscribe and leave a like. That helps me keep making videos.